Hi, I'm AJ, and I'm going to be doing a book report about Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Lightning Thief, written by Rick Riordan. Percy starts out by telling us his story of how he gets kicked out of Yancey Academy, where he has a friend, but is bullied a lot. He goes home after he finishes, and he talks to his dad, well, stepdad, and then, angry, he goes to his room. While in his room unpacking, his mom enters the house and they talk for a little, and then she says that they're gonna go to Montauk, one of their favorite beaches at Long Island. On the way there, they talk, and she's not in a good mood. When they get there, they're attacked by the Minotaur, one of Percy's enemies, or a monster. Grover finds them before the Minotaur can destroy them, and he leads them to Camp Half-Blood. While they're there, the Minotaur grabs his mom and almost kills her. He squeezes her neck like this, and she blinks out of existence, like she didn't exist. Percy gets angry, and he rides the Minotaur like a bull, figuring out that the Minotaur only has one way forward. So he decides to pull off one of the horns and basically murder him by doing this. He stabs him in the forehead and he gets Grover, who is unconscious. He gets Grover over the line to where Camp Half-Blood is, a safe haven for demigods. He sees Chiron at the big house and he talks to him, but little after he starts talking, he passes out. The next time he wakes up, he's in the infirmary, and he's drinking some sweet liquid he doesn't understand. The next time he wakes up and he has enough rational thought, the girl who was with Chiron that day was also there, feeding him the drink. When he was able to see clearly, Chiron, an Argus, a 100-eye monster, well, he's not technically a monster. He's working for the good guys. Anyway, Chiron tells Percy everything. Monsters, demigods. He even gets to meet a god, Mr. D, or Dionysus. Most people know him as the wine dude. So he's put in the Hermes cabin with all the other Hermes kids. But he's undefined, meaning he hasn't been claimed by his father. Now, here's the thing between gods and mortals. Gods fall in love with the mortal, but when the god leaves the mortal, he or she has to deal with a baby child when they're in school. When they're in school, maybe a satyr can find them and give them directions to Camp Half-Blood. But it's dangerous being a half-blood and being a powerful half-blood, which unfortunately for Percy, he is. So, at the Hermes cabin, everyone groans that they don't have a defined Hermes kid. They want a new kid that won't change cabins, because it's getting really crowded in the Hermes cabin. So they head on to dinner, and Chiron announces that they're gonna play capture the flag on Friday. As far as Percy knew, it was still Sunday. So a couple days passed, he gets into the routine. But on Friday, during Capture the Flag, he's attacked by the Ares kids, the children of Ares, who are ruthless and want to pretty much kill him and embarrass him after the toilet incident. So Clarity decided, let's introduce this guy to the toilets, since that's their tradition. So she leads him to the toilets by the hair, tries to push him into the toilet, but since let's not spoil it right now. But since he's blank, he can control water. So the pipes, all of a sudden, the pipes rumble, and out comes sprays of water that hit Clarity in the face. Since he controls it, he doesn't get wet, since there's like a circle of dry area around him. He walks out and he sees Annabeth, who wasn't spared. She was dripping in toilet water. After that incident, no one was messed with Percy again until Capture the Flag. While fighting the Ares kids and defeating them, after he steps into the river, a hellhound attacks. Basically, it's a tank with fur and red eyes with fangs like this long. This is how big the fangs are. I'm not even joking. Anyway, it tries to kill Percy by digging its huge claws into his chest plate and trying to dig out his organs. Chiron kills the monster and sends it back to Tartarus, but not before Percy's almost destroyed. Percy steps into the water, which heals him, and then all of a sudden, everyone starts to kneel. Percy looks up and he sees a glowing blue trident about that big. Chiron announces that Percy is the son of Poseidon, the Earthshaker, the Stormbringer. In the morning, Chiron moves Percy to cabin 3, Poseidon's cabin. Later that day, he's called to the big house where he has a meeting while playing Pinocchio. Spelled P-N-C-H-L-E. I forgot the O. Anyway, Chiron explains the Pact of 3 where Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades weren't allowed to have demigod children. Yet Percy is the son of Poseidon, which is a big no-no. Zeus had also broken the rule a couple of years ago. He just couldn't resist himself, that guy. He had a daughter named Thala. And while they were in the woods fighting monsters with Grover and Luke and Annabeth, Thala makes her last stand at Half-Blood Hill, and she dies defending off a monster army so that her friends can get into the border. Then Chiron tells him to go upstairs to the Oracle of Delphi. Basically, this old mummy corpse that can spout prophecies. She's been dead about 50 years. So yeah. Percy goes up to the Oracle and she gives him his prophecy. I am not going to tell you the prophecy since I don't remember. Anyway, it says that he's going to succeed, but only with the help of his friends. But he won't save what really matters most in the end. Anyway, Percy decides to bring Grover and Annabeth along with him. They journey through Manhattan, and they decide to go into New Jersey on the Greyhound, or bus. They go from New York all the way to New Jersey before the Greyhound breaks down. They all have to get out. Anyway, while they're there, a furry attacks. More than one. All 3 furries. Or as Grover and Chiron call them, the kindly ones. Just so they don't pronounce the name, which can attract monsters and gods like this. Anyway, Percy defeats the furries, but not before the Greyhound is struck by lightning and blows up. They make it out into the woods where they see a huge sign with Aunt M's written on it in red cursive. They enter and they see an old woman who doesn't seem like much, but actually, she's the monster Medusa. You know, Poseidon's girlfriend, Perseus, the original Perseus, cut her head off, and she could turn anyone who saw her to stone. Yeah, she was that ugly. She has all the snakes here, like that. Anyway, Percy decapitates her just like the original Perseus and sends her head to Mount Olympus. Not a good sign to piss off the gods. Anyway, they make it out, and by morning they find a poodle, which is actually a rich man's dog. Since Grover's half man, half goat, or a satyr, he's able to communicate with the poodle. The poodle says that since she can see through the mist, which is a veil that covers mortals' eyes, but some mortals are able to see through the veil, such as the oracles of Delphi. Fun fact, the oracle of Delphi's original name was Pythos, after the snake Python, which Apollo slew, who was in the original cave of Delphi. So they turn the poodle back for the money for the train tickets. They get a train from New Jersey to Denver, but they make a stop on the way. So basically this is their trip. They stop at the St. Louis Arch, and since they have 3 hours before the next train comes, so that they can go, they decide to board on the arch. So they're going up the arch, but while they're going up the arch, they see a woman who has a dog. She calls him Sonny, but that's not his name. When they reach the top, the ranger announces it's closing time. So Percy, Grover, and Annabeth try to get on a train cart, but Percy can't go in since it's full. So he's stuck at the top of the arch with the dog and the lady. Eventually, the lady reveals her identity and her dog's identity. The dog is the Chimera, one of the most deadliest monsters in Greek mythology, killed by Belphron. Echidna is the mother of all monsters. Her husband is Typhon, the father of all monsters. Percy blows up the arch, loses his sword, and manages to fall 3,333 feet into the river below. Now, you can't see the river there, but it's definitely there. You can look it up on Google Maps. So they escape to the train, and they get it from there to Denver, where they meet the god Ares, who says he can get them supplies and a ride, but for a price. He sends them on an errand to retrieve his shield, which he lost during a date with his girlfriend Aphrodite, the goddess of love. Ares is the god of war, and he has blazing red eyes and literally they're blazing with fire. He has his power is he can make anyone he wants try to destroy someone else, like their friend. So they go retrieve his shield, but Hephaestus has set a trap, since Aphrodite was originally Hephaestus' wife. So basically, they have like 10 seconds until they're broadcasted live on Olympus. Percy, with his son Poseidon powers, breaks the plumbing, pushing all of the guards in the Waterland Park, which is where the shield was at, into the Tunnel of Love. Unfortunately for him, he and Annabeth are in the same thing, trying to get the shield. Since the mini cupids that were there, broadcasting them, speed out spiders. She's the daughter of Athena, who originally turned Arachne into the first spider, which is where the word arachnids come from. They make it through the Tunnel of Love, and they decide to jump so they're not destroyed, since the gate was blocked. It says, no passing. They jump, and they make it to max altitude, where Grover catches them. Luckily, they still have the shield. If not, it would have all been for nothing. Then they return to Ares, who gets them a ride in a zoo truck as a joke, since they're animals. They get all the way from Denver to Nevada, where they see a hotel and decide to stay there. It only seems like a couple of hours, but it's actually 5 days while they're there. You know, they get some fresh supplies, a bath, a good night's sleep, and then they start to play video games. They eventually escape thanks to Percy, but just barely. The owner of the St. Lotus Hotel, I think it was, they really want them to stay, so he offered them the premium cards, which would allow them to enter the premium section, which had even more games and even more food, and basically a really good time. Me, I would have been tempted to enter a lot. I actually would. But eventually they make it out and they get a taxi, and they use their premium card, well, not premium card, they use their lowest cards on the taxi, and it says infinity money, like this sign, infinity. Anyway, they get from here all the way to Los Angeles, wherever it is, whether it's here or over here, I think it's here. Anyway, they drive there, and they find the entrance to the underworld, R-A-W. They see Charon, who drives them across the river Styx, a deadly river in the underworld. They make it to Lord Hades, who confirms he has Percy's mom, but won't give her back. He says, I'll give you your mom if you give me back my helm. And Percy's like, say what? I didn't take your helm. I didn't even take the Master Bolt. But Hades says, but why do you have it then? And Percy realizes that Ares tricked them and put the Master Bolt in their supplies, hidden by magic. Percy returns to the land above with the help from the sea nymph, and eventually fights Ares and wins back the Helm of Darkness. He gives it to the furries, and who return it to Lord Hades. Lord Hades keeps his promise with Percy and returns his mom to the Upper East Side, where their apartment is. The police take them into custody, but not as fugitives, as more like a victim, even though they blew up a ton of stuff. With the help of Lord Zeus. Eventually they make enough money to get 3 tickets to their next flight to New York, which thankfully for them was on the same day, the Chaos Day. Eventually make it back to New York by the summer solstice, where Zeus demanded the Master Bolt and Poseidon demanded an apology from Zeus. So here's what happened at the winter solstice. Someone decided to steal the Master Bolt and the Helm of Darkness. They probably took the helm first so that they can make you invisible and it can strike fear into the heart of your enemies. Then he took the Master Bolt and probably ran around somewhere until Ares caught him. Took the Master Bolt and the helm and decided to go. Anyway, they find out eventually, but that's for later. They return the bolt to Lord Zeus, who hears his story and understands that he wasn't a thief. He returns to Camp Half-Blood a hero, but before the summer can end, a friend betrays him, Luke, the one who accepted him in the Hermes cabin. Luke betrays him and summons a pit scorpion. They can jump 15 feet and their bite is poisonous as death. It's fatal poison. It almost kills Percy, just barely. He makes it to Chiron, who has magical healing herbs, and feeds Percy, again, in the infirmary. Here's the pattern. The beginning of the summer in the infirmary. The end of the summer in the infirmary. What's in the middle? A lot of pain. He returns to his apartment at the end of the summer and sees that his mother had arrived. All is well that ends well, I guess. So I recommend. No, let's not do that first. The plot basically is something stolen. Percy and his friends have to retrieve it and give it back to who it was stolen to. This happens multiple times in the books. It's a repeating plot. The plot also shows friendship, betrayal, and brotherly love. And honor. It also shows the struggles of life. Being bullied at Yancey by Nancy Bobofit. I'm not kidding, that's her real name. And, losing his mother. It also deals with pain, physical pain and emotional pain. It also teaches that not every situation doesn't have another answer. You might think of a permanent answer or you might think of a temporary answer to a problem. Either way, as long as they're the good answer, it's probably a good idea. My opinion is it's a good book. The author captured the humor, very well, like a 12-year-old boy who's telling a story. I'm 12, I should know. Also, he shows friendship, brotherly love, and basically he shows that not everyone has the same problem, but many situations are the same, and that sometimes we need outside help, but at the beginning we have to accept that help. Like Grover comforting Percy after he thought his mom was gone. I recommend this book to people who want action but some dialogue, like a drama side of thing. There's also people who have seen the movie about this, which is nothing like this book. Annabeth has brown hair instead of blonde hair. I mean, come on, man. How hard is that? Also, in the movie, they're 17. What? I'm sorry, I know I'm getting criticism, but just to show you, the book is way better. That's it for today, folks.